My life-changing weekly Power Meat Braises, full of rich collagen and amino acids to build and maintain muscle. Layers of juicy flavors and hands-off slow cooking that fits into our busy lives. So I always have protein on hand for strength and vitality. Start with your trusted high-quality beef, grass-fed and grass-finished, free of feedlot ingredients that can cause harm to our health and the animal. I use about 4 to 5 pounds, either a half or whole beef brisket, beef chuck roast, beef shank osso buco, lamb shoulder roast, or pork shoulder roast. On Wednesday morning, I pull the meat and the frozen bone broth for added nutrients and gut healing properties from the freezer. I place on my trusted quarter sheet pan and let thaw in the refrigerator overnight. On Thursday, I sprinkle the thawing cut liberally with salt, with up to 48 hours brining time, so it is time to penetrate the protein walls for a more flavorful and tender braise. Then return to the refrigerator. Saturday is braise day. I pull my salted meat from the reefer to bring it to room temp. This helps it sear to a golden brown, as you'll see in a minute. While the cut sits, I go to work out, strength training and cardio for the body. After an hour workout, it's time to fire our burner and heat our trusted go-to 7 1/4 quart Dutch oven to a medium high for the entire process. So easy. A dollop of healthy cooking fat, like your go-to extra virgin olive oil, to lightly coat the bottom so things won't stick to the pan. Using your heat-safe tongs, place your large cut of meat in the pot for a crispy browning exterior. You can cut into pieces if it's easier to handle. No need for salt here, of course, as we did that during prep. Remember, you're not cooking the meat here, only searing a crust to lock in flavor juices and add a caramelized texture. A minute or so on each side is all that's needed. The brown bits on the bottom of the pot are called fond, and they're caramelized gold, a delicious foundation for all the flavor you're about to build and stir into the braising liquid. So they don't burn, you can pour a small amount of liquid into the pot to deglaze, which is basically releasing them from the bottom of the pan. Add in your Pantry Staple number 1, aromatics, for a quick sauté, just enough to soften and help release their flavors. Onions are a simple rough cut, and garlic cut in half crosswise. It's okay to leave the skins on, as they'll be strained out in the end. It's not necessary, but you can add tomatoes if you have them. With your tongs, return the meat to the pot, nestled into the aromatic base. Now add your Pantry Staple number 2, enough braising liquid to come to within 1 inch of the top of the meat. There are many choices, from wine and beer to cider. I prefer nutrient-rich bone broth from grass-fed cattle and less sugar that can cause insulin spikes. Pantry Staple number 3, an acid for brightness and tang, like a 1/3 cup sherry or balsamic vinegar. Staple number 4, for a touch of delicious sweetness, my ever-favorite honey from local bees, or liquid coconut aminos, 70% lower in sodium than soy sauce and free of soy and wheat if you have food sensitivities. A 1/3 cup of either should do it. Staple number 5, a hint of spice like ground ginger or cumin, even chili flakes or harissa. Just like the aromatics, these will be strained out in the end, but help give a bit of heat or bite to the braise sauce, taking things to the next level. Bring to a simmer to combine flavors and make sure everything going into the oven is warm. Place your lid so the meat doesn't dry out while cooking, and into a preheated 300-degree Fahrenheit oven on the bottom rack for about 3.5 to 4 hours while you go about your day. Pull your braise from the oven when it's fall-apart delicious. Carefully lift the meat from the pot and set aside for easy shredding in just a moment. But first, our unbelievable melt-in-your-mouth bowl of nutrients sauce. Pour the braising liquid, solids and all, through your strainer. My favorite has a built-in fat separator. Then pour back into the pan, or a temporary bowl if you're doing this in batches, and less the unwanted fat. Bring the flavorful, nutritious juice to a simmer, and while they reduce into a syrupy sauce, shred your powerful meat. I dive right in with my fingers. This helps to remove any unwanted gristle or mystery bones. Once the braised juices have reduced, I pull about half of it out. I let cool and then into my ice cube trays to store in the freezer and use for whatever dish I want to add rich flavor later. This is one of my #1 cooking secrets. Returning to our braise, add your meat to the remaining liquid reduction. Stir to combine. And the final step is what I call taste and tang. The last secret to a great braise is a bit of acidic liquid, usually the sherry or balsamic vinegar. It's a final game-changing touch as it helps bring everything to life. Meat braises are served in countless ways, from taco toppings and squash filling to pairing with mashed potatoes. I also use them in my Power Protein breakfast bowl, which the link is below. One simple pot in the oven doing its magic while you go about your day. Enjoy.